Time to shoot the rock. This is the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN 102.7 FM, AM 1450, AM 1230, and streaming live on ESPNKY.com. Your weekly double-barrel dose of the biggest names, best products, and most intriguing topics in the world of firearms. Brought to you by Hilux Optics, Swagger by Pods, Shoot with Confidence, J&K Used Cars on the Bypass, and Mohawk Outdoors. In pursuit of liberty, justice, and all things guns. Here are your hosts, Nick and Nate Noble.
Hey, welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show. It's your host here at ESPN Studios. We're in the bunker at ESPN102.7.com. We're a podcast as well, 121 episodes strong. It's your hosts, Nick and Nate Noble, back at you with a bunch of really cool firearms, accessories, guns, ammunition. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. Caves and holsters and cool things.
Yeah, we've had an interesting week up at the Rock. Big shout out to the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation. We just got done with the Rockcastle Classic GSSF match up at Rockcastle this last weekend. 501 shooters through the GSSF match. New record for Rockcastle, and brilliant, man. And they were talking about the Gunny Challenge, their biggest match of all time. I mean, it is their biggest match of the year. It took them 10 years to get to 500 on the Gunny Challenge, and we're in a rare air with 501 at the Rock.
Yeah, and it's huge. We were rocking the Glocks at the Rock, but it was really cool because this is our 7th year we've hosted this match. It is like the perfect entry drug for competitive shooters. It's by competitive shooting standards and everything we do at Rockcastle, it's a fairly simple match. There's only 3 stages. You're going to plink a lot of steel. You're going to hit some paper targets, but it's really not hugely complicated, so it's perfect for the first-time shooter that's trying to get into competitive shooting. And I don't want to discount the fact that there are some huge pros there, and they really travel across the country. And Glock Shooting Sports Foundation has done a really good job, as well as anybody I know of getting new shooters in. And not only that, but keeping the professional type shooter into the game. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I saw, 13-year-old kids out there blasting away with their parents, which was awesome. And the parents were like caddies carrying gun bags for these kids and not even shooting. That was cool. We had the Northern Kentucky Young Marines. Big shout out to them. They brought 14 Young Marines down. Great program. All ages of kids that got to shoot.
If you want to have hope for our next generation, hang out with the Northern Kentucky Young Marines, because these young women and men, and I'm talking some of them were 10 years old, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, up to like 15.
Up to 15. And yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's our pleasure to be here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, they were off the hook, and I was overly impressed with the Young Marine program.
Yeah, great group of people, and it's always fun seeing all the Glocks. I got to shoot all the new ones: the Glock 45, the Glock 48, the 43 X, my 34, my 17, my 19. It's just a good way to spend a weekend. The weather was beautiful. And, man, I encourage everybody to follow that thing around. It moves around a lot. There's GSSF matches everywhere. And they're coming back to Rockcastle for sure next year. And
it'll be the last weekend in May. We confirmed that today. So it'll be the last weekend in May next year. So if you don't have a Glock, we've got one. We can rent you one or let you borrow one. It's pretty cool. So that was really cool. And then, June's going to be a crazy month. We're walking into some crazy things. But before we get into kind of the whole meat of the program, we got some great guests tonight. Our first guest is going to be Brian Vaught, one of the co-match directors of the Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun, which is actually my favorite match of the year coming up this weekend. He's going to come on and tell us a little bit about the shenanigans of that. And then we're going to have Jared Hinton, who was here this weekend.
It's like Vista night.
Yeah, it's Vista night, Vista Outdoors. Mr. PR extraordinaire from Federal Ammunition. Jared Hinton's going to be on the show with us, and he's going to talk about a lot of the cool things. We'll get into the details, but we did another really cool deal after the Glock match. We were shooting with Julie Golub and Sabrina Vaught, and doing some really cool things, getting some great film, because we were named one of the 10 coolest ranges in the United States by Range 365, which is also Outdoor Life and Field and Stream magazine. So that's cool. So Jared's going to come on with us. And then old friend of Rockcastle Shooting Center, also Vista Outdoors, Blackhawk Tactical, Mr. Larry Houck's going to join us and talk all things Blackhawk. And who doesn't, if you've been around the gun game a little bit, and holsters and gear and everything else.
Clothes and bags.
And Blackhawk is one of the biggest names out here. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at federalpremium.com, doing a little drooling over ammo. They got a lot of new stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to mention to you, if you don't know, is Rockcastle Shooting Center is open to the public. You can come in and shoot any of our ranges 7 days a week. It's charged an hourly rate of $10 per hour or $40 for the day to shoot on one of our ranges. But you also become a member, and that's a big deal. One of the best deals in the business is you can become a member of Rockcastle Shooting Center and shoot all our different disciplines. I mean, we have a 1,650-yard rifle range. We've got another rifle range out to 700. We got sporting clays and wobble trap. We've got 3D archery, pistol bays, cowboy action, you name it. So it's a pretty good deal. So anyway, so check us out. We're at exit 48 on I-65, just outside of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Park City, Kentucky. And we're the only gun show on ESPN radio, and that's pretty cool. We're
banging it, and we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. After these short messages from our sponsors, you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show, ESPN Radio 1027.com.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2010 Honda CR-V XL. Local trade comes with sunroof, leather interior, sport wheels, power options, luggage rack, and more for only $7,995. Hurry in, because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars, with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
Who will change the future? Northern Kentucky University seeks today's visionaries and tomorrow's leaders, who in turn seek to make their mark on the world. NKU's community shares and grows its passions with others, blazing a path to achieve their goals. NKU builds careers that not only better the lives of its students, but better the lives of everyone they connect with, from graduation to beyond. Drive, dream, and determination define the North spirit. Find out more about NKU's more than 70 majors at nku.com/leaders. Northern Kentucky University. Burn bright.
When Poston Electronics opened in Bowling Green back in 1974, it sounded more like this.
Turn it up, man!
Now Poston is as legendary as the artists Southern Kentuckians pumped through the speakers they've bought there for the last 45 years. Poston is everything audio with top brands like JP Audio and Alpine. From home theaters, boats, motorcycles, side-by-sides, custom work, installation, service, or sales, Poston still has the sound. Turn it up, man. Poston Electronics, across from Firestone on Broadway Avenue.
Hey, this is Tommy Thacker, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN.
Yeah, hitting us with some good bump music coming back in. The Rockcastle Gun Show. Nick and Nate Noble, the double-barrel duo on the airwaves, bringing the Rockcastle Gun Show every Wednesday night, 6-7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, find us on your iTunes or wherever you go to get your podcast. Go look for Rockcastle Gun Show on your podcast faves and subscribe, and we'll send that thing to you every week. We got a new episode talking about the biggest names, the best products, and most interesting topics in the world of firearms. Right now, we got another part of a double-barrel duo. If you've shot 3-gun at the Rock, you have met Brian and Brian. They've been your ROs, they've been your match directors.
B squared.
B squared. And we got one of them, one of the B squares, right here, the fishing 3-gun legend, Brian Bott. What's up, dude?
Legend is a stretch.
Depends on how you measure it, bro.
Here we are again, year number 6.
Year number 6.
Year number 6 of the Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun. My favorite match of the year. It's one of the, the big matches. Nate and I typically are behind the scenes trying to make things happen, but Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun is one that we have to shoot. And we've even been DQ'd for in the second stage a couple years ago. We won't even mention why that happened, but it may have been my brother's fault. But anyway, Brian Vaught, you and Brian Ray, your Team Samson, Team Rockcastle, your what we'll call local shooters. You're part of the family at Rockcastle Shooting Center, just up the road about an hour. This is you said the 6th year. Kind of how did you come up with this match, and why has it become so successful? Because I measure matches by success by how fast they sell out, and this one almost sells out instantly.
Well, I don't even really know what to call this match because, you can call it the 3-man 3-gun. I think we called it the 3-man multi-gun before. I think we called it the 3-man team event before. I think actually we have made T-shirts for this match that say those 3 different things on.
Nice.
So
consistency.
We don't really know exactly what to call it, but the concept came from shooting Dean DeTurk's match up in Topton, Pennsylvania about, I guess it's been about 8 years ago. And it's just, we had shot Blue Ridge and we had shot, a lot of other major matches, and we're really getting into 3-gun at the time. And we went up there and shot that, and we were like, wow, that was a blast. And local people in our area that shot, there's a lot of folks in Lexington, and we had local matches at Rockcastle at the time, and from Owensboro, and Indiana has a multi-gun series, and Tennessee at the time had a multi-gun series. And we were like, our friends in the 100-mile radius of Rockcastle would just absolutely love this. And so we put together a very simple concept of a 5-stage, 1-day match. And Dean's is much bigger than that. Dean's is like 10 stages. And I think first year we had like 16 teams. Second year we had like 24. And this year we're at 52 teams, and that's all we want. Like, we cap it right around that.
Right.
And, it fills up in about, an hour or 2, 3 hours, something like that. Just depends. This year we're doing a D-Day theme because, tomorrow is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And our match announcement on Facebook and some other forums was just, Jean has a long mustache. That's just all we put out there with our match announcement. And those that got it signed up like they were supposed to.
That's cool. That's really cool. And I love the D-Day theme. We picked up the T-shirts today. They're in our offices, and that T-shirt's going to be epic by itself. It's going to be something that everyone's going to be proud to wear. It's part of the Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun. But for our listeners that aren't familiar with even what 3-gun is, what's a 3-man 3-gun match like? I mean, kind of drill us down to what are the components and what are people doing and what guns are we going to use and what are we going to be doing?
Well, I mean, if you can go on YouTube and you can search 3-man 3-gun on YouTube, and you will find mostly Dean's match and our match is what will come up. But they're basically relays. So they're like shooting relays where you and your teammates, some of it is like kind of a tag team event where you go back and forth shooting different arrays and different guns from a start box, and you have to tag each other in between. Some of it you all shoot at the same time with designated targets to engage. Some years we've had tasks that have had to be performed. I'll give you an example. You would, start in a start box, all 3 of you, the first guy would run up, flip a card over, and if the card had a handgun on it, then he was the guy that was supposed to shoot the handgun, and you had no idea which gun you were supposed to shoot. And it might actually be you're shooting one of your teammates' handguns, not even your handgun. So some of those things, so there's a different flavor every year to some of these. We have one stage, which has become kind of the hallmark thing for our matches, a golf cart stage where you do a relay where every teammate gets to drive and every teammate gets to shoot from a moving golf cart. And it's always makes for, I mean, most of the videos you find that people have uploaded on our match are the golf cart stage. It's just
for sure.
nuts. But
I love to see them game the golf cart stage is always fun. You last year you guys put landmines, which are clay targets, on your right and your lefts, right? So you got to stay. You can't get closer to the targets. You can't do anything. So you guys put landmines out on the right, and we're shooting off to the right. And if the golf cart driver is trying to encroach and cheat a little bit over towards those targets, they start busting those clays, and they get procedural penalties for that. And it's pretty funny when they don't even know they're doing it, and they're doing it. And then that whole thing is not a comedy of errors. It's just a comedy of fun shooting, and I love that.
Well, the devious problem with that is that as the driver, you're rooting for your teammate that's shooting. You're watching the targets, so you go off course. I mean, it's like driving and texting.
Well, and the other thing is the driver and the shooter may be on different wavelengths. Like, all right, so
you're going too fast.
Your driver's hauling some rear end down the course of fire, and the shooter's not keeping up, and there's 180s and all kinds of different things they have to keep up with. But you kind of have to be in sync, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, and we've had people come from Canada. We've had people come from Texas, Michigan, all over for this match. Somehow, and for whatever reason, they wanted to come shoot this match. And some of the best, and some of them are extremely accomplished shooters, but they cannot drive a golf cart. It's pretty amazing.
Or shoot out of a moving golf cart.
Because they get so into the shooting part of it that they're trying to watch the target, and they lose track of where the darn road is.
Yeah,
and,
been there.
It's great. I mean, the part of this match as well is we encourage heckling and disruptive behavior by the gallery.
Yeah.
We expect you to cheer, make fun of,
coach, whatever.
Well, I mean, you can coach them if you feel like they need it, but we see more mean things said than nice things said to people. But it's kind of part of the flavor of the match is we expect folks to participate. So, a lot of matches when you're not shooting, you'll wander. People will wander to their cars, or they'll get into conversations and they won't realize that it's even like getting close to be their turn. The spectators at this really are kind of engaged throughout the whole thing because of just the fun factor of it. So it's fun to see that anyway.
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good times, and man, you got great support from sponsors. I mean, Double Star Rifles always giving the trophy receivers. I saw those on Facebook. You can go on multiple different avenues, whether it's Double Star Corp or Rockcastle's Facebook, and see the prizes, the 3-man 3-gun receivers. They're bringing a whole bunch of other stuff, including their new Stronghold grip, which aren't even on the market yet. I encourage everybody to go to Double Star and look at those. A huge box of Samson booty came in, different prizes and stuff, and get a lot of support for the match. And it's one of those matches that even those companies are coming to shoot, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I think one big, huge shout out to Samson, who's been here, and you guys are big shooters for Samson, and they've done a great job of supporting this match as well, and a lot of other companies.
Well, one thing I will say about Samson, and Brian and I have been traveling around shooting matches for about the last 10 or 11 years, is it's almost hard to go to a match that Samson doesn't in some way support.
Right.
And, I mean, going even way back to shooting matches at the Ozarks or Rocky Mountain or whatever, I mean, they were even supporters of those matches. So they're on almost every match director's, email list, apparently. And it's been very generous, even for matches that we don't go to,
Right.
People say, hey, thanks for supporting that match. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. But Scott and Kathy Sampson have always been big supporters of the shooting sports and 3-gun, and they actually have come out and shot Pro-Am and shot Ozarks years ago and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I think it's real important to support the companies that support the sport that you like to do.
100%. And Brian Vaught, I wanted to give you and Brian Ray credit. Brian, he could be on the show tonight, but you guys are regulars on the show. You're regular shooters, Rockcastle Shooting Center. But you guys, you've got highly successful careers. You shoot matches all over the country, but you always give back. I mean, from running the local club matches, 3-gun matches when you really didn't have to. It's a lot of burden on you guys to plan stages, to put stages up on the ground, to help find staff and everything else. And 3-gun is just another example of that. And we really appreciate the hard work and effort that you guys do. And we believe it's out of a loyalty to the shooting sports, and you're just giving back to the stuff that other people do, because not a lot of people realize how much it takes to put on a major match, or a match of any size for that matter. And you guys are always giving back. And we also believe that you guys are paying it back to Rockcastle Shooting Center because you love to shoot there. And we just want to say thank you very much to Brian Ray and Brian Vaught, to the Bryans, for just giving as much of your time and away from your families and everything else that you've done.
Do we lose you?
What a bad time.
I'm still here.
Oh.
Yeah, I lost that last little bit, but you're welcome. I'll just say that. It's been a real adventure. I will say that.
Yeah.
It is every year. But I love to see one of my favorite matches, and I've never shot the team event. Brian and I have never shot.
Yeah, you guys sacrifice your own shooting to put on this match, and there's not a lot of glory and love for that. Well, there might be in certain ways, but certainly not the gratification of coming in and shooting a really, really well-run match.
It's very rewarding to me to see somebody that's never shot it before, and they don't really know what it's about, and they're a little apprehensive, and by about the fourth stage, they don't even care what their time was. You know,
Exactly.
This is very, very, satisfying to me to see those folks have that kind of fun. So that's what it's all about anyway. And we have some great volunteers that come out. I will say that Rockcastle in this area of Kentucky have a lot of really good folks that when you need a hand, we'll probably have a dozen people out helping us set up on Friday. So more than we need almost. Not that I want anybody to cancel, but, we'll have plenty of people helping us on Friday.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
cool.
We look forward to seeing you guys on Friday and spending some time with you up at the Rock. And I can't wait to see the stages, man. They're going to be cool. If you want to come out and watch the match, come out, stop by at the lodge, get a wristband, sign a waiver, and they'll point you in the right direction to go out and see some really cool 3-gun. If you're not signed up, you're not going to participate, but you can always watch the fun and games go down. And Brian, thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Hey, no problem, guys. I'll see you in a couple days.
All right, we'll see you. You're listening to Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio 102.7, and hey, check out our podcast.
How's everything taste tonight, folks?
Oh, that is excellent. Where was it raised?
As a chef, it's important to know where your food comes from. That's why we buy local and Kentucky-raised food.
My boys are the 10th generation to farm in Kentucky.
We take a lot of pride knowing that what I set on the table is a good product.
And we're proud of the products that we produce. You're getting an excellent quality product.
We believe in what we produce. We feed it to our own family, and we're happy to share it with your family. Kentucky Farm Families.
Feeding Kentucky, feeding the world.
Sponsored by the Kentucky Agricultural Development Fund.
Water on tap means reliable. The average American uses 176 gallons of water per day. Water on tap means affordable. 1 gallon of tap water costs less than 1 penny. Water on tap means quality. Testing over 1,000 times a year. Water on tap means commitment. Working around the clock to bring safe, reliable water to residences and businesses. Water on tap means life. Warren, Simpson, and Butler Water delivers quality and commitment, transporting a combined 10 million gallons a day. Valuing water means valuing our future.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2010 Honda CR-V XL. Local trade comes with sunroof, leather interior, sport wheels, power options, luggage rack, and more for only $7,995. Hurry in because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars, with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
This is Tim Jensen from Gun Style. You're listening to ESPN, the Rockcastle Gun Show.
Welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show. It's your hosts, Nick and Nate Noble. All things guns, double-barreled dose of just cool stuff. And hey, man, we couldn't do this without our sponsors. You just heard that J&K Used Autos out on the bypass here locally, family-owned operation, which we respect highly because we're a family-owned operation up at the Rock. So appreciate them. Swagger Bipods, national sponsor that's doing a lot of great things for us. They also have Big and J. They just sent us 7 or 8 pallets of Big and J mineral for our deer, and they're coming out in September. We're going to do some bow hunting. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, they're going to come out and film. We got certain deer that are hitting the Big and J's, and the storyline is going to be the pictures and the feed, the supplements, deer supplements that they sent us.
Watching those racks grow.
Watching the racks grow through the feed, and then they're coming in to film one of those deer being shot during archery season. It's going to be epic. It's going to be cool. And we love those guys. And Mohawk Outdoors, man. Mohawk Outdoors, JD, and I think they're both on vacation this week, which would be awesome because the guys don't get out on vacation very much. They're always taking somebody else on vacation, a wounded or, unwounded veteran out to hunt and fish with Mohawk Outdoors program. It's a 501c3, one of the greatest organizations we're a part of. Next week, we're going to raise a whole bunch of money for them at the Industry Choice Awards and Firearms Industry Team Challenge. And we look forward to that.
Yeah, and we've got that track chair that's sitting in our lobby. Everybody that comes in the lobby, whether they're a shooter or not, maybe they're coming in for the winery, maybe they're coming in to have dinner in our restaurant or stay at the hotel, but everybody admires that track chair. That's J.D. Williams' track chair. He's donated us to get wounded warriors and people with disabilities out, whether it's shooting or just riding around on the walking trails. It's pretty cool around that national park that we're lucky enough to do. So that's really cool. So, we've spent the last couple of days doing one of the coolest, funnest things I've done. I mean, we were lucky enough to be named one of the 10 coolest, quote unquote, coolest ranges in the United States by Range 365, which is owned by the conglomerate of Field and Stream Magazine, Outdoor Life Magazine, and we had some great folks in, including our next guest, Jared Hinton, the PR, the public relations extraordinaire from Vista Outdoors, Federal Premium, Federal Ammunition. Jared, are you on the line with us, brother?
Yeah, I'm here with you guys.
Hey, man. It's a long time no see. I think you left about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and hopefully you got home to Minnesota nice and safe.
Yeah, we made it home safe a little later than planned. We had some thunderstorms, so I was delayed about 2 hours. So I don't think I got home till about 1:30 last night. But, the life of a PR guy.
The life of a PR guy. It can't be that hard or that easy. And I'm saying that because you get to do some really cool things like this weekend doing the Range Reporters thing with Range 365, which I believe is going to air on the Outdoor Life Network first on their electronic platforms. But I'm sure because of all of the things that I just went through 25 new product lines that you guys have listed on the Federal Premium website. So I know it's not easy keeping track of all that, but I know it's really cool because you get to go do all that stuff.
Yeah, as large as we are, Federal Ammunition is the largest commercial ammunition manufacturer in the world, and when you add on top of that our sister company CCI and Spear out in Lewiston, Idaho, we've got a lot of products. We're servicing pretty much any shooting sport discipline or hunting style or anything out there. We've got a load out there for you.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the ammunition has come such a long way. It just seems like even in the last 4 years that we've been in this business for 10, but just in the last 4 years, man, there is stuff coming on. Technology's changing. The way you can measure, design, engineer the chemical powders and stuff that are burning, the bullet shaping and what people are learning about that. Talk through that a little bit. It's amazing to me. Just simple things like, you guys have your new Syntac ammo out and you've got, the new, new Barnes Triple Shock X, bullet in the big game. What goes into the process of coming out with a bullet and a new cartridge?
There's a lot of different things that we look at, but really it all comes down to customer needs. We really want to find out what the consumer wants, and then that just really lets our engineering staff and our marketing guys really focus on creating products that people want to purchase in the market space. Not everybody's a hand loader. Not everybody has that opportunity to make that custom load that fits exactly what they need. But we want to have our portfolio large enough that pretty much any application that you can imagine, there's something in our family that we'll get you squared away and taken care of.
Yeah, and just like in the turkey loads, man, the TSS turkey load is insane for turkey hunting. Nick put the hammer down on one running straight away from him at like 55 yards. I mean, what an amazing load that is. And have you got to use it in the field and go turkey hunting with it?
Yeah, I got a chance to use it last year out in Wyoming on a Merriam's hunt for the governor's shootout out there. And, my shot was a nice little 25-yard chip shot. So I definitely didn't benefit from that increased capability and range on that load. But my hunting partner ended up rolling one at about 55 yards and just knocked him clean. And, the old thing with turkey hunting, we've always that's always kind of been the adage is, can't stop the flop. And I'm pretty sure, and I've seen it myself on more than enough of my own hunts and videos, that this TSS stuff completely stops the flop.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I took when I think I sent you and Michael Shea. Maybe I didn't send you, but I sent to Michael some video that my son shot, and it was us turkey hunting. It was opening day of Kentucky turkey season, and Grant was shooting the TSS, and he got a great shot and a wonderful trophy turkey. And then I took one of the worst shots, and it was on camera, that I've ever taken. On a matter of fact, it was the worst shot. I shot behind it, and there's a lot of different reasons why.
He
but
shot
3 seconds,
he shot the decoy.
Yeah, but 3 seconds later, I took the best shot I've ever taken turkey hunting, and that TSS rolled that turkey runaway from me at about a 45-degree angle at 55 yards. It was really cool. So that's really good stuff. And now I want to get into a little bit about what we've been doing for the last few days, because you came in and you were there not only overseeing the content and the shoot and everything else. We had some incredible talent there. We had Julie Golub, who's a multi-time world champion, considered one of the best shooters in the world, and certainly one of the best female shooters in the world. Former AMU with Army Marksmanship Unit. She shot for Glock for a while. Now she shoots for Smith & Wesson and do some stuff. And we got to do some crazy cool stuff down in a cave, and we were using some of your ammunition that is actually should be, and we need to work on a deal on this, but it should be the official ammunition of the Rockcastle Cave range. And tell us a little bit about that and your experience underground. We spent a better part of a day down there, and it was really cool.
Yeah, the shooting down in the cave was one heck of an interesting experience. You see this little hole in the ground. You gotta get down on your hands and knees and kind of scrabble through it for a couple yards to get in there, and then you get 50 feet in, and it's just pitch black, just as coal black and
cave dark.
Once
man.
The lights were turned off, straight up scary dark, just a really neat experience to get to run down there and shoot and see Julie shooting down there. And she was running our new Syntec action pistol line. She was shooting at 9mm, 150 grain bullet, and this ammunition's really designed around action pistol shooters. It's the official ammo, USPSA. It's guaranteed to make power factor out of anything that you would shoot in competition. 4 or 5 inch barreled guns, big heavy bullet. Not real fast, but really, really tracks exceptionally well, keeps that muzzle rise down. And even just talking to Julie, and I've heard this from some of my other friends that are USPSA shooters, they shoot it for the first time, and the first thought that goes through their head is, hey, this is never going to make power factor. But then they actually shoot it over the chrono and do the math out on it, and it consistently hits minimum power factor just barely. And that really helps people on their split times and get on target faster.
Well, and I was sold on it after we shot in the cave for quite some time, and Julie was running the course of fire, and it was really fun. Bullet traps and winding corridors and darkness and lasers. We had Crimson Trace had their light and laser on there. Huge shout out to them. And we had Julie's M&P, and we're running that thing. And in kind of an after action report, we're sitting there talking to Julie, and she's like, "This is that 150 grain Syntec bullet is the only thing I shoot in competitive shooting. I mean, it was that's a huge deal because they're, shooters at that level are always looking for an advantage, and to have that kind of backing and allegiance to that round is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and we took some marketing studies, and we talked to USPSA about it, and we started to do some surveying, and we found out that really functionally only had 10-15% of shooters that were shooting factory ammo in competition, and so we saw a need there. We saw that availability of a product that we could fit, and we had previously been working on our Syntec product line. And for folks that aren't really familiar with Syntec, what it is a lead bullet, but it's got a polymer coating on it. And it's a proprietary polymer coating that runs cooler. It's about 15% cooler, reduces the wear on your gun. And it also features our new priming system that we've been working really hard up here at the Federal Factory, the Catalyst priming system, which is a lead stiffness free, so it shoots super clean. So you're getting more miles, more shots between cleanings. The air quality for those of you that are shooting inside is much better. Very low smoke, and it's really an impressive product.
Well, and I really, because we've done a lot of shooting in our cave and the hole. It's not one of our caves that have bats or animals or anything like that in it, but it's a perfect shooting range cave. We've been doing it for a long time, but I can tell you that the air pollution with that round was far less than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, and in that situation down there, obviously you guys don't really have airflow. You're not running big industrial, bag houses to filter that air out. So it'd be really easy for something that's smoked up heavily to really clog that up down there and potentially create an unsafe situation if you were doing any volume shooting. And the Syntec family is just going to eliminate that as a possibility almost completely.
Yeah. And then we transitioned to some long range. Well, we had some steaks and some salmon, some surf and turf. We sat around Rockcastle in the hotel and the restaurant and enjoyed the 20-mile views out of that. But then the next day, yesterday, we actually were out on our long range, and we had Sabrina Vaught, who's a great PRS shooter and a great talent. Her and Adam Vaught run a lot of our PRS matches. And we were out there with some more of your products, with some Savage products, and with some Federal Premium 6.5 Creedmoor with that Burger bullet. And Sabrina, it didn't take her long. She'd never shot the gun before. She'd never shot the Bushnell optic on it. And it was in a short order in one or maybe two boxes of ammo that she was ringing steel at a long range.
Yeah, we had her out there. So we were shooting the new Savage MSR-10 precision rifle, which is a rifle that was really built around PRS type shooting and competition shooting, and shooting with Bushnell's new Forged line of optics on there, and we were shooting our 6.5 Creedmoor gold metal 140 grain Sierra Match King load out there, and I think we put about 10, 15 rounds on a 100-yard zero target just to kind of get the feel of the gun, get used to the controls, because she's a bolt gun shooter, and she wasn't used to shooting that MSR-10 platform. So we really wanted to make sure that she was safe and comfortable and had the full manual of arms, and got the cheek piece adjusted for her, and got the grip adjusted for her, and got everything squared away. And then we didn't even think around. I think we took maybe 5 shots at 500 yards, and then we were right out to 760, 860, 950 out there.
Yeah,
and she
good.
was just ringing steel, just ping as fast as she could load those magazines.
And it was interesting, she's an accomplished shooter. She's got her own gear and everything, but she's shooting a rifle that she's never shot before. But some interesting things on that MSR-10. I mean, she was not comfortable with the pistol grip, and then you showed her how she could adjust that and really got and the cheek plate as well. She made a few adjustments on that rifle, which are very easy to do with some simple tools, and all of a sudden she was back in her zone where she wasn't quite as comfortable just before that. So the adjustability of that firearm is pretty impressive.
Yeah, the Tango grip on there is adjustable. You can either have a very traditional AR-15 style angle on that pistol grip, or it's really just simple as loosening the mainspring screw on it, giving it a pull down, and twisting it 180, and it's a vertical grip at that point in time. And once we made that change for her, and then on that Magpul PRS stock, just adjusted that cheek piece up and that length of pull a little bit to get her really comfortable and locked into that gun. Amazing the difference it made for her, how comfortable she got and how fast. The first 5-10 rounds, you could see she was kind of struggling, kind of getting used to the gun, and then once we made those couple little tweaks, I think 5 rounds later we were actually ready to rock. We pulled up the Federal Ballistics app and then plugged in the numbers for that load and took it out. And I think we were only, a quarter MOA off about from what the ballistic calculator said out at, 850 yards.
Yeah, that was amazing. Now, first time the Rockcastle Shooting Center. I know you do a lot with Michael Shea and Dave McCarr and all these great folks at Range 365 and Outdoor Life and Field and Stream. What was there's going to be some killer content coming out of this, and I can't wait for you guys to get it published and everything because I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah, it was a really interesting experience. We travel to a lot of different ranges, and all too often when you go out to a gun range, it's 30 miles from the nearest anything. You're having to get up an hour and a half early if you got a competition to make sure that you can make it to the grounds on time to be able to shoot, and being able to kind of roll through the door, have lodging right there, have a restaurant right there, have a bar right there for after we're done shooting, and then be able to go out on the grounds and have, pistol bays, having, short range, which, was 700 yards, and then real long range at 1,600 yards, plus sporting clays out there. Really, really super neat, unique facility. Definitely resort atmosphere up there.
Wow, we appreciate it. Jared Hinton's our guest. He's the public relations extraordinaire for Vista Outdoors and Federal. Thank you so much. Looking forward to working with you more in the future, and we really took great pleasure and honor that you all got to show off some of your firearms and your ammunition and your scopes and everything else from Vista Outdoors at the Rockcastle Shooting Center with some of the top shooters in the country. So.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me out there. We really appreciate the opportunity. We'd love to get out there and check out the different ranges and see the different sites across the country. And it's a super, fun experience. So on our end, if you guys could just, check out any of that ammo over there at federalpremium.com and kind of see all that new stuff we're doing. We're easy to find, and, go check it out.
Yeah, man, Jared, I'm a little bit jealous because I know one of your next stops is with the 224 Valkyrie and Heli Bacon.
Yeah, that's coming up soon. Unfortunately, I don't get to go on that one.
No.
I drew the short straw, and I ended up with you guys, and that was a really tough.
I don't blame you for saying that's a short straw. Shooting pigs out of a helicopter
with the 224 Valkyrie.
Yeah, it would be
red
awesome.
dots. So. Crazy. Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Jared, we look forward to seeing you soon, man.
Hey, nice talking to you guys. Thanks for having us, and look forward to getting down there again.
All right, we're out with Jared Hinton, PR Director for Federal Premium Ammunition, and we're going to go to pay some sponsors, and we'll be right back. The Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio, ESPN Radio 1027.com.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When our clients come to us for representation, I see way more than a client. I see me. When I hear someone has a herniated disc or a back injury, I think, what if that was me? How would that impact my life? I put myself in your shoes and in your life. When I look at your family, I see my family. This outlook makes my firm think differently than most. I understand that some injuries are forever, and forever is a very long time. For 30 years, we've helped hundreds of thousands recover what they deserve. $1 billion last year alone. Every time we hear your stories, we feel like it's us. If you're injured in a car crash, slip and fall, or the victim of medical malpractice, call us because we care. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Offices Bowling Green.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
It's John Scouten from Shooting USA on Outdoor Channel, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio.
Yeah, welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio every Thursday night, 6-7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we talk about the coolest things in the shooting sports world, the guns, the gear, the people, the situations, the sports. And we got a character right here coming on from Blackhawk. You've all known him for a long time, Blackhawk Tactical Products. But our good friend Larry Houck, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
Man, long time no talk. I guess it's been a few shows since I've seen you, maybe.
NRA show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, NRA. You guys were there, and last time I was on the radio with you guys was Pro-Am last year.
That's right. That's right. And, hey, this is kind of the Vista Outdoors segment because we just had Jared Hinton with Federal Premium, one of their PR gurus that has been here shooting with us, and Julie Golub and Sabrina Vaught doing long-range stuff, in the cave stuff. And now we get to talk about Blackhawk, Larry. And I understand that you are in the Commonwealth of Kentucky right now, and we don't know why you're not sitting next to us or at the Rock right now. You're up there hanging around with the Bryans.
Well, yeah, it's funny. I'm in Kentucky because I do another sport that's called garden pulling tractors.
Really?
So I'm getting a new motor put on the tractor for the new pulling season.
Garden mowing pulling tractors. Let's talk about that for a second.
There's no mowing deck on it.
I know.
And there's not too many garden tractors out there that are running a 2016 Suzuki 750 GSXR engine.
Wow.
This does not surprise me that you're into high performance tractors. And what is it? Are you pulling weight, or how does this thing work? Tell us about this.
All right, so you know the big tractors that are on the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling Series?
Yeah.
Think of an 8th scale version of that. The tractor's 8 foot long, and I pull in the 750cc class. So I've got the biggest motor that I can get. With me, the tractor and the motor can't weigh over 1,200 pounds, and we pull a weight transfer sled just like the big boys do.
How much does a tractor like that pull, a garden tractor, in your class?
The sled, I think the sled's right around 6,000 pounds.
Gee, many Christmas.
And you're not a small man, so that 1,200 pounds, you gotta, you may be at a disadvantage because your motor or your machine's got to be a little bit less.
Actually, we're not actually belted to the tractor.
Okay.
Because this class, I don't run a full roll cage. I don't have to run a full roll cage until I get up to the 4-cylinder or the V8 class. So I can actually slide around on the tractor. I can slide forward, I can slide back, I can slide left and right, and that's actually how I steer the tractor.
Wow. Who knew that Larry was a garden tractor racer? That's awesome, though. I actually saw that on your Facebook feed. I think I saw John Deere Green. What's it called? The Lawn Monster?
It's actually called the Green Monster.
The Green Monster. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I used to go to the local county fair, and that's when Art Arfons had the jet tractor, and I used to love that tractor, and he called it the Green Monster.
That's cool. So forget about seeing some of your biggest firearms customers in the world right here in Kentucky. You're in for garden tractor towing, which is cool. But you get to somebody told me you might get to the 3-man 3-gun, but I don't know if you were just pulling legs.
Well, the problem is I need 2 partners.
Well, I think we've got you. If you're interested, I think Lady Di, Diana Muller, and one of the bigwigs from Fiocchi Ammunition may be looking for a partner. And if that's not good enough for you, Nick and Nate Noble have a team that we'd love for you to join. I don't know that you would want to shoot with the hosts of Rockcastle Gun Show in a competition because you're a high end performer, just like a lawn tractor man, and we may not be as high speed, low draft as you'd like.
Well, here's the thing.
We're
guys.
definitely low
Shooting
draft.
is about fun, and you got to have fun first and foremost. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, that's who was on my list there first was Nick and Nate Noble. But I mean, if that's changed and you got substitutes in, I can understand.
No,
we
I guess,
definitely have fun.
Well, I guess our point is we'll find you a team because we'd love to have Larry Houck. Larry is no stranger to Rockcastle Shooting Center. He's actually been the match director for some of our biggest matches, specifically the Pan American Shotgun Championships, which we've hosted twice. And you've done just a great job, and you've been around the competitive shooting world at the highest levels for a long time, all the way back to your FN days. So we have a red carpet for Larry Houck anytime he wants to come.
Well, the good news is I got the gear in the truck. I took delivery and folded the back seat up and threw the gear in the back seat, so I'm ready to go. And would you believe I'm actually coming down to my 10th year in 3-gun?
10 years.
Really full bore with 3-gun in August of 2009.
That's awesome. That's we're in our 10th year of 3-gun here at the Rock because we started. Your first year was probably one of the first matches we ever hosted with Blue Ridge Mountain 3-gun. So yeah, that's cool, man. It's been a long time, and your company now you work with Black Hawk Products, and you guys are huge sponsors of the Rockcastle Pro-Am coming up in August. And tell us what's new with Black Hawk, man. You guys got a lot of new products out, a lot of knives. And some new holsters and stuff.
The knives have come out, but because I handle holsters and duty gear, it was an 18-month project that I worked on, and we have a new line, duty line. It's called the T-Series, and we're also making a compact version available that carries all the strength, all the compatibility of all of the platforms, leg platforms, vest attachment. It's a thumb drive holster. We really went back and looked at all of our holsters across the board and said, what do we like about each one of them? What do we have to have? We want the slimness. We want a thumb drive because the SERP has been around a long time. SERP is an absolute great holster. But there's people that don't want an index finger drive holster. They want a thumb drive. So now we produce this holster for that market. It's not a replacement for the Serpa. The Serpa is going to still be around. But now we can supplement that Serpa for the guy who doesn't want it or their agency says like they can't carry it for whatever reason. We have something for them. And I think this holster is probably going to work its way into 3-gun and potentially dominate 3-gun because it's got retention and the holster is lightning quick because not the fact that I was involved in the design of it. We put some of the competition side into it, but from the duty side of it is when you come down for your master grip on your handgun, the release is right there for your thumb, so you don't have to manipulate your thumb around like some of our competitors, and that's fine. That's how they set their patents up. But ours is right there. As soon as you grab your master grip, you don't have to do anything other than press the button in, and the handgun releases.
Yeah, it looks really nice on the website. I encourage everybody to go check that out at blackhawk.com. And it looks like a really nice holster. I mean, you got how many? It looks like are you just doing duty, or you got all the guns and all calibers?
We've got
all
a
guns?
level 2 and a level 3 duty. It's a spring-loaded retention strap that sits over the top of the gun for the level 3. But then our compact version, our L2C compact version, is primarily going to drive to the commercial market. But we realize that officers such as detectives, chiefs of police, administrative personnel may want that smaller compact holster so that's all built to the duty strength, all interchangeable with all the platforms. And here's the best part about that compact. We know the red dot optics are really gaining traction, especially in for USPSA, carry optics. I'm sure IDPA has it. Law enforcement's really looking at it. Now you don't have to cut or modify the holster, and you have a level 2 duty holster for that handgun with optics on it.
And that's huge.
That's huge. That's a big deal. And a lot of concealed carry people will carry a level 2 holster outside the waistband like that if they're wearing jackets or whatnot, and being able to put the rear sights on them is a big deal in that market especially.
So that holster, that compact version holster, will come with our new 2-slot belt mount, which helps rotate or what we call minimized printing because it turns the rear of the gun in toward the body just a little bit to help with that minimize the printing. But it also comes with our new QDR, quick dual release. It acts like a paddle, but has the strength of a belt mount. You simply push 2 buttons in. It basically hinges. You can pull it off your belt, so you don't have to worry about fishing the belt on and off. It works just like a paddle, but it gives you that strength of a permanent belt mount.
That's cool too. Very nice. Very nice. What else you got? What else? You guys have been in business for a long time. I know the leather holsters and inside the waistband, outside the waistband holsters are real big. It looks like you got a lot of. Are the duty holsters? Are cops carrying the leather holsters anymore? Or are they all going to the Kydex stuff?
We're really seeing them go away. If they do, they're the detectives or they're plainclothes operations. Everything is now to the injection molded bodies, and they're looking for that strength. Leather served for many, many years, but just like any kind of technologies come in and really help the performance out.
What do you think the mix is in law enforcement now with light-bearing guns, like the tactical lights and stuff, the stream lights and the Surefires and stuff like that? How many more duty guys are carrying them with lights?
Based off what we were able to discover at SHOT Show, I think within the next 3 to 4 years, you're going to see 80% of the patrol officers carrying lights on their handguns.
Yeah, I mean, our entire sheriff's department went that way here not long ago, and for different guns, it's hard to find a holster that'll carry them with the right light and the right gun and everything, but it's getting more and more prevalent. I mean, you guys came out with the Omnivore a few years ago, and then I've carried one of those.
We're building the T series for the TLR 1 and 2, which the TLR 1 is the dominant light in law enforcement right now. We're also going to be building it for the 7 and 8. And those, the 7 and 8 is also going to be available in that compact. Again, we think, that's going to drive that commercial market because that was really designed for that. So now an individual using for example, a Glock 19 with a TLR 7 and a RDO red dot optic on top of their handgun can marry it up to the T-Series compact L2C, and they've got what I believe is the perfect concealed carry gun.
Yeah, the holster business has got to be as complicated as the ammo business for me as far as SKU-intensive purposes, because if you just look at law enforcement nationwide right now and the huge shift to the 9mm platforms, that's got to be a nightmare for you guys.
So I have 2 lines. I have the Black Hawk line and the Uncle Mike's line. We have commercial and duty in both of those. I am personally responsible for about 3,600 SKUs.
Wow. That's crazy. There's so many different guns out there right now in law enforcement.
Variations across the board.
I mean, sizes. I mean, you look at just like our friends that are in federal law enforcement, they're carrying 3 different sizes of Glocks. Just one guy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Trust me.
Yeah. So what's next on the docket for Larry Houck, man? You got your motor getting put in, and hopefully you're swinging by Rockcastle, and then where do you go from here, bud?
Next probably major match for me is the Generation 3 gun in September. I'm going to kind of take July and August off because my son starts his first year in college, so make sure he's prepared for that. And then spend some summer time with him, and then hit that 3 gun, running the new Typhoon F12 shotgun, which is the new box fed from Typhoon Defense. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri, and I just came from the Hornady Zombies in the Heartland, and I was able to pull out a stage win on the all shotgun stage against some pretty credible guys such as Jerry Mishlik, Tony Holmes, James Darsh. Those guys can all move shotguns pretty darn well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that thing. I've heard a lot about it, man. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure they'll be coming to the Rock soon with these matches we have coming up.
Oh yeah. And with the technology that's improved the box-fed shotguns. We're starting to see more people coming over to the open division now because that complexity of the tubes that the 4-round manual stick load tubes is all gone.
Yeah.
We've got the Dissident Arms Segas out there. You've got the R&R Racing Segas. You've got the Tooth and Nail Armory, the MK1919s that are out there. Now the Typhoon Defense and the VR80 from Rock Island. I mean, there's a lot of options. And, for example, my shotgun, race ready, on the shelf, is $1,200.
That's amazing. Larry Houck, we're going to a hard break right here. Black Hawk Tactical, thank you so much for coming on the show. We can't wait to see you. Thanks for all the great information. Good luck in that tractor pull. We'll see you at the Rock next weekend. And go check out Black Hawk Tactical. They've got the best gear in the world. And Larry, thank you very much. Listen to Rockcastle Shooting Center on ESPN Radio.